Alright, so this video I'm going to be showing you how to tune the clutch on your scooter. Now this will apply to any scooter with a CVT clutch system, variator, Varadrive, whatever you want to call it. It's a CVT belt drive clutch. Alright, so you want to take out all the perimeter bolts to hold the case. This one, the air box, is bolted to the case, so I had to remove those two bolts first, and then all the perimeter bolts around here. Now yours might be stuck, and they have special pry points like that little tab. Don't use that tab, that one's too thin. That thicker tab, they have several pry points around the perimeter of the case that you're going to need to use to pry this apart if it has a gasket, especially. Now be careful if you've been recently running it, but to get the slack up there, which is where you're going to change the rollers, and then you can modify the spring back here too, but we're not going to cover that today. You're going to want to squeeze this pulley, squeeze it so this belt will go down in there and give you some slack. I'll show you. Be careful if you've recently been running it because it may be hot. See, all you got to do is grab it with your hand on each side and squeeze it. Compress that spring in the back clutch, and now you got slop up there. That's what you want. What you're going to want is a good impact adapter with a good socket that's a snap-on 16mm for this. This is a Yamaha Jog clone engine. And remove that nut. It's right-hand thread, so left hand will take it off. And once you get that off, pay attention to the order of everything. You got a washer here. You got a splined kickstart cog. You got this thing with the splined plate that'll come off of there. You have a small washer here in front of that sleeve bushing. Then you have the sleeve bushing, and then you have your clutch and the plate with the sliders or rollers in it. Now sometimes your clutch will come off in two pieces because if this thing is splined, it'll be stuck on the shaft a little bit. Don't worry about that. If these things fall out, that's what the next step is for. Now that's when you come over to your tuning table and you're going to want to weigh these, which these are the old ones that came in it. These were 6 gram, which that's off a little bit. Don't worry about that. These were 6 gram weights. They're all basically 6 gram. And these sliders that I put in here are 5s. They're all dead on. Now people say if you want to fine tune, you can alternate. Like you could do a 5 and a 3 and a 5 and a 3 and a 5. And I don't like doing that. I like keeping all my stuff the same, so that way it's evenly balanced. I don't like mixing weights. So if your goal is, you know, a 4.5 or a 5 weight or a 5.5, they make the weights exactly what you need them. Just get the right weights. I don't like mix and matching weights, although you can do that. I feel like it throws this out of balance. And then when you go back together with it, I'm missing a guide. Don't worry about that. Well, worry about it because I'm going to get the missing guide and put it back in there, but put the thing together as a whole assembly so it doesn't fall apart, and slide it back on the engine. And once you get that assembly put back on, slide your bushing in, tap that back in there with the socket. I'll use this one. Tap it back on there till you hear it seat, and then put your washer on. Now sometimes that can be a mod. You can take the washer off there, but on this one it seems to like it with the washer on there. Put your belt back on, still slop, and put your outer drive face and your kickstart cog back on, and torque that nut to manufacturer specifications, and then put your cover back on. Actually spin everything over and just make sure everything's seated before you torque it. Make sure everything is seated because this thing will blow apart. It will literally blow apart and go everywhere, and you won't find anything if you don't do this. And once everything's back together, you got all your screws put back in place. I left one out because I'm probably going to be doing some more tuning on this one. And you take it for your first ride. Slowly ease into the throttle and cycle the throttle a few times until you get up to speed and work it back down to give that rear clutch time to adjust, and you're not burning up your belt with the slop in it. If there's any other questions you have or anything else you want me to address on these scooters, let me know. But lighter weights in your primary variator clutch will give you a higher stall RPM for takeoff, so you'll get more torque. It will allow the engine to rev a little higher into the power range before it starts taking off. Better for heavier riders or people that have to go on hills and stuff like that.